everyone, and welcome to 1923 Main Street.
Home of the Disney Travel Podcast with the latest Disney travel news. We're your hosts.
I am Mike Bello-Braddock.
And I'm Amelia Bello-Braddock. And today we will be bringing you all of the news on Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach.
Yes, we have good news and bad news,
It's
sort of.
all good news.
Oh yes, I know what you're coming from. All right. It is still sort of the holiday season here. We're getting used to the new year, so it's been a little light on news, but there was some good news on New Year's Day with Disney's Typhoon Lagoon water park reopening.
Finally, it's reopening. It's been closed for years now, I think.
But then there was some bad news.
Blizzard Beach is closing.
Blizzard Beach closed on the
Although
same
most
day,
of us don't care.
First, let's talk about the reopening, because there are some new things. So we'll talk about what's new at Typhoon Lagoon and what's back and old favorites, because we like a water park on a Disney trip, particularly in the summer months.
Oh, yeah.
March or sort of spring break, winter, it can be a little up and down with weather, but if it's a nice warm day, then definitely, if you have not visited a Disney water park, definitely check it out.
I mean, most days in Florida, a water park is merited.
All right. The thing I love most about, Typhoon Lagoon, it is sort of a surfing-themed area because it does have that wave pool. It did reopen on January 2nd,
That's
officially.
its signature attraction.
And Disney Blizzard Beach closed on New Year's Day. So Disney giveth and Disney taketh away. But there's always a lot to do at Typhoon Lagoon. I know it is your favorite. It is the 50th anniversary.
So there's some new things that Disney has cooked up.
And I know the first thing is something I think you might like.
Create your own custom Dole Whip.
Yeah, this is sort of a cool idea. You know, they've had...
How many different flavors of Dole Whip do they have now?
Well, we can tell you right now. So first of all, this is at the Snack Shack, which is next to Typhoon Tilly's inside the park. And they have a new frozen dessert bar. So that's where they're doing this.
Yeah,
and
that sounds delicious.
So you can mix and match Dole Whip flavors. I will tell you the flavors now, and you tell me what you would mix and match.
Okay.
You've got a choice of mango, pineapple, the traditional, lime, my personal favorite, and raspberry. Interesting. I do not see vanilla listed on their list, even though they have it. So I wonder if it is there. If you are there, let us know. Right now, we're saying, if you had mango, pineapple, lime, and raspberry, what would you do?
Pineapple.
Just straight up pineapple?
Yeah.
You wouldn't mix
normally
anything.
I get the swirl.
Do you know what? I will get straight lime.
Yeah, normally I get the pineapple vanilla swirl. And I also saw a couple months ago they had strawberry for a limited edition, I think sometime in July. They had that somewhere.
So this is sort of interesting the way this is. Now, it's only been open as we're recording this for one day, not even today. Well, let us know if you're there. But also, there is a little bit of bonus. If you are an adult, you can choose to electrify your Dole Whip. And they have a few cool choices.
Who would do this, though?
They have tequila, coconut rum, or dark rum. Plus, there is another option for eating your Dole Whip that you might like. And that is the new Moana-inspired Dole Whip cones.
Yeah, now this intrigues me.
As we witnessed many times with not only self-serve Dole Whip, but self-serve anything else at Disney parks and resorts, some people go a little crazy. So
yeah, I think they learned their lesson to save resources. They have ditched the self-serve.
Many years ago, if you recall, at Captain Cook's, it was self-serve Dole Whip. It was where the cooler for drinks now exists, and people would go and get a little ridiculous with self-serves that were 8 inches tall and dripping all over the floor, and really it was just a waste of Dole Whip at the end of the day. And so they put a stop to the self-serve Dole Whip, just like the refillable drink cups. But anyway...
How are these cones Moana?
I don't know. We're going to have to see how they are. I'm sure Instagram will be flooded with them shortly.
Yes.
If it is not already. All right, next up at Typhoon Lagoon is an old favorite that we've talked about. In fact, we have an episode dedicated to this, I believe, or a good chunk of it, but it's back, and it is...
Surfing at Typhoon Lagoon. Finally open again. You can go, I think I think it was at 5 a.m. when we went.
It's very early.
It's very early.
It's before the park opens, which is very cool.
But I'd say it's worth it. So you get there fairly early, and then they activate the wave pool, and they teach you sort of how to surf, and then basically you just surf on the wave pool, and there's smaller waves, and then there's larger waves, and I think you can go how many times, would you say?
Well, we must have gone. It depends on the size of your group.
Yeah.
So there's two ways you can do it. The surf instructors are from Ron Jones Surf School, and they are amazing. So, and if you know how to surf, they'll just crank it up for you. So you can also do a private session with 25 people of your own. But we went to a regular group session, and there was maybe, 15 of us, let's say.
Yeah.
The three of us and then a few other people. And it's super fun. They teach you how to surf if you don't know how to surf. If you do, they'll just put it on high. And I'm saying these are maybe 6-foot waves or something. They are big.
The only annoying part is you have to carry your surfboard all the way back up.
Yeah, they don't let you surf all the way to shore. So the way it works is...
they kind of do.
Well, there's those flags, and you have to jump off your board. They do not want you landing your board on the beach.
Well, yeah, but then
good for the boards.
Yeah, but then you have to carry the board
yeah.
all the way back up to the start position.
Yes, they do not have a surfboard valet service, if that's what you're asking
but it's exhausting.
And if you're a dad or a parent like me, you will end up carrying that board many times if you are surfing right before or after your kid. They let 2 people go in the pool at a time. And if you have not surfed a freshwater pool, but you know how to surf, it's different.
Yeah, it's not
the
same.
Buoyancy is different. So
you'll probably still be fine. I mean, it's not like you have to relearn.
Yeah, but you're still going to have a little bit of a fun challenge. It's not going to be the same as an ocean wave. And
it's also not like one of those slipping slide things where you surf, but
the permanent wave as they're called. No, this is interesting because they'll have the wave pool perfectly flat, right? It's perfectly still. Nobody's there because it's early in the morning. It's before the park opens, and then you're sort of down in paddle position, and they tell you how the wave pool works, but you hear this humongous boom, and you're right beside it, right? You're
at the far end of the pool.
You're next to the wall where the wave comes out, and it is scary.
You're like past where they would normally
Yeah, because you're not looking back, right? You've got to get ready to paddle, paddle, paddle. If you surf, you know what it is. You feel that wave pulling you back. That's when you're getting ready to jump up, to pop up. But that boom is scary, and it for a couple of times I had to get used to it because like, oh my gosh, what's about to hit me?
You surf in like actual water.
So anyway, it's super fun. If you are at all interested, I would highly recommend. Happy it's back. So, surfing at Typhoon Lagoon, check it out. Well worth it. Lots of fun.
Yeah. And then if you do take part in this adventure of surfing, you also get a few minutes extra in the park with only your group of 15.
Yeah, that's the benefit. If you want to stay in the park that day, you will still need a park ticket, of course.
Yeah.
But they don't make you exit. So
no, you can stay in a bit early, which means you get in line or you get a few extra rides.
You're sort of at the front of the line, right? They take you back to where the lockers are and put you behind a rope, but everybody else is outside. But what they do allow you to do, at least when we were there, is claim a spot in the park before anybody gets there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so
you get the good lawn chairs.
Yeah, you get the good lawn chairs or wherever you want to sit, right? So they'll let you put your stuff down and then you have to go back and wait. But then you're first in anyway. So
and that means that once you're behind the rope, you can run to whatever ride you want to because your stuff's already down.
Or slide, maybe say. Are they called rides? I don't know.
But what better ride to run to than the Crushing Gusher, the Disney water coaster?
Yeah, now, the reason I prefer Blizzard Beach, as Amelia was alluding to at the beginning, is for Summit Plummet. I love the thrill. It's the scariest ride at Walt Disney World. If you haven't done Summit Plummet, when Blizzard Beach reopens, do it.
Yeah, but without Summit Plummet, Blizzard Beach is nothing.
Yeah. No, I would disagree. But if you're at Typhoon Lagoon, you're going to want to head right back to Crushing Gusher, which is a sort of a water coaster, I guess. We're calling them rides. There's 3 chutes, right? I guess we'll call them chutes. There's the Pineapple Plunger, the Coconut Crusher, or the Banana Blaster. So check them all out. The water park is just like any Disney park. Get there early to get on as much stuff as you can because they do get lines. Now, they do have some 50th anniversary inspired menu items.
Of course they do. This is Disney World. What did you expect? And from Walt's chili nachos.
Ooh, I still want to try those. I've seen the recipe, but I've never tried them in a park.
Offer a special twist on one of Walt Disney's favorite meals to the iridescent ice dream cone.
Oh, more iridescent stuff.
Of course, a birthday cake flavored soft serve spectacular.
Oh, you might like that.
As they put it. I'm definitely intrigued in this. Disney's Typhoon Lagoon is home to a variety of delicious anniversary themed
Yeah, so there's more treats than that, but you're right, iridescent ice dream cone. That's funny.
Yes,
but
please. I would love to try that.
And of course, if you're like some people we know and you don't really want to go on the crazy slides,
there's always a lazy river, or at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon, Castaway Creek.
Yeah, so if water slides aren't your thing. Now, it's funny because I was reading in Disney's official release for this reopening, they say Castaway Creek offers a peaceful drift down a 2,000-foot lazy river.
First of all, 2,000 feet.
That's pretty long.
I know. And
But-
second of all, I don't believe you.
Yeah, so if you've ever
Peaceful?
been on a Disney lazy river anywhere, I don't care if it's Aulani or Blizzard Beach or Castaway Creek
Alani's not that bad.
or even Stormalong Bay,
Oh, Storm. Right.
they are not peaceful.
No.
They're loaded
Disney.
with kids and adults. And
False
people passing
advertising.
around. So don't
And waterfalls that
don't
just
necessarily
dunk you.
count on a peaceful drift, but they are fun. Yeah, and you go through waterfalls and rope bridges. There's a cool rope bridge at Typhoon Lagoon. I'll post
Yeah.
a picture of it. There's rainforest and all sort of stuff, so it's pretty neat. Also, I think the favorite ride there, their newest ride, is our favorite one.
Misadventure Falls. I love this one
Yeah.
personally. It's like a giant water slide, but yet it's also a ride because you go in an inner tube.
Yeah, you're in a huge inner tube, right? So I don't know how many it holds, but 3 of us is pretty good. So maybe 4 max in the inner tube. And,
Yeah.
and it's on a really big slide. And you go back and forth, up and down walls, through the water. Again, I'm reading their description, and this is stuff I didn't know. For someone like me who loves the detail, it says Misadventure Falls is owned by Captain Mary Oceaneer, a seafaring treasure hunter whose hull got caught in the rogue typhoon that formed the park.
Yeah.
This thrilling, family-friendly adventure is the newest attraction, blah, 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 and gives you the opportunity to hunt for Captain Mary's scattered global treasures during their voyage.
Oh, did you not know that?
Did you?
I did. I keep forgetting what they are.
Because
But
we've ridden this a lot,
No, I think
and we've never looked around for stuff.
no. One time, either a cast member told us, or it was on like a screen or something.
I can't remember.
I
but
remember looking for it. I didn't find it,
all I
but
know
I
is
remember
we
looking.
haven't done it. So if you're listening to this, pay heed to this, and
Yeah.
if you've never looked around, let us know what cool things. I don't like spoilers for these things necessarily, so I don't want to look and see pictures, but I like that they've done that.
Yeah, let us know if they're easy to find because I couldn't. So
And then, it's not quite Summit Plummet, but they do have Humunga Cowabunga. It's probably the biggest thrill seeker ride in the park.
have I
It's
done
got,
this?
Yes, you've done it.
All right.
It's
If it's
like
what I'm thinking of, it's pretty fun.
it's like it's not as I don't like it. It's a bit quirky, jerky. We did it late at the night at an H2O Glow Nights, and you do
Yeah.
climb up, and it is pretty straight down, but it's super short, and it's not nearly the thrill of Summit Plummet.
No, it hurts,
It,
kind of.
it does hurt a little bit.
It hurt.
And then the last thing I'll say is one thing we love to do if you really want to splurge on your day.
Rent a cabana.
Rent a cabana. They
It's
call them
so much
beachcomber
better
shacks. Yeah.
Than those sandy beach chairs. I assure you, I would say it's worth it if
There's
you
a-
want to have a fun
Yeah,
day.
there's a couple of things. They're like cabanas in the hotels, but they're sort of like little huts, and they're not huts even. They're almost like a pergola
Yeah.
off to the side, and ours was overlooking a lazy river.
But if you have a larger group where you want to stay there for a longer amount of time, I would recommend it.
Yeah, you can have up to 6 people in there, and they have things like towels and cushion chairs and
And the
refillable
shade
drink
definitely
mugs
helps.
and a locker and a cooler, and it's stocked with ice and bottled water and stuff like that. And you have your own personal attendant.
Yes.
And, although I did find people sort of walking in to it as if they were like, oh, look, we got this cool space. So you pay several $100s for these things. They're not cheap. But, if you want to splurge and have a nice day. And then you don't have to worry about your stuff as much as if you just left it out on a beach somewhere. So definitely check out the Beachcomber Shacks. And that's tons of fun news about...
Yeah.
And there is one more brief news that caught
More
Amelia's
Adventures
eye.
by Disney, which I'm a big fan of. This one in Europe, it is a river cruise.
Would you go on a river cruise? So this is the Explore Europe, Danube River, and Rhine River cruises. So
I mean, I'm kind of hesitant about any cruise right now, but I'd rather do the Disney Wish.
these river cruise boats,
than a
they're
river
not like
cruise.
cruise ships on the ocean.
Yeah,
They're
calling it a cruise is very misleading.
well, they are a river boat. Like these are long rivers in Europe. But right now they have a special. The news is
I
you can
still
save
think it would be fun.
you can save $500 per person on select 2022 Danube and Rhine river cruises, but
Which, I mean, is a small percent, but it's still good.
you must book by February 28th.
Yeah.
Well, $500 per person. If there's 3, that's $1,500. So that's
true.
not bad.
I mean, it's a small fraction of what you pay, but it is a decent amount of savings.
You have to book by February 28th, and you must travel between June 26th and August 4th. So it's a small window in the summer, but if you're thinking of going to Europe, and hopefully numbers come down everywhere because they're pretty crazy right now there, then that'll be good. So it is limited availability, so you can book. You can always cancel, I'm presuming. But it does exclude Category E staterooms and suites, so the best rooms. So I wouldn't do this personally, but if you were thinking of doing it and you want to save some money, you have that option.
If I were to do a cruise, I'd probably do the Disney Wish, but this still sounds like a fun option.
Yeah, traditional cruise. I'd rather do another Adventures by Disney in Europe than a Disney river cruise. But hey, some people like river cruising, and that's
I want to do the one in LA.
Well, when it comes back, we'll check it out. All right. Any more news to share this week? I think that's about it with Typhoon Lagoon, the good news, bad news, but I'm sure Blizzard Beach will come back online maybe in a year or so and they fix it up.
Hopefully soon.
So that's the news for this week, everyone. Thank you for joining us, as always, here at 1923 Main Street, where we share the latest Disney Weekly travel news and offer our own opinions, whether or not you want them. All right. Have a magical day, everyone, and we'll see you next week.